Platinum Prime for life. With your host, I'm Linda Ferguson.
I'm Karen Nelson-Val.
All right, so today we are all about celebrating Karen. She just had a birthday yesterday. So that's the topic we're going to be talking about is, do you celebrate your birthday when you're in your Platinum Prime years? And Karen, let me ask you, did you celebrate your birthday?
Yes. The answer is yes. When I turned 50, I started throwing parties for people because I thought, I've had 50 years. That when I turned 50, I was producing the show Country Tonight, and I took everybody. I rented out a a paintball competition
Fun.
storefront. And after the show got finished and we got off about, I don't know, maybe we finished about 10 o'clock, and I took coolers of food and everything, and I took the whole cast over to compete with each other at paintball. And that kind of started a thing that I do celebrate, and I do tell my age, and I know a lot of people don't celebrate. They don't want the birthday to come. They don't want to tell their age. And I actually had a friend of mine, a nice friend. He's a very nice, supportive friend. And I could tell that he thinks that I'm really overdoing it. Like he says, I don't really do much for my birthday. It's just another day, and don't feel like celebrating it. And I'm like, well, I know it is arbitrary. It's very arbitrary. I mean, the sun went around, we went around the sun one more time, right? Since the day I was born, I've been that many 81 times around the sun.
81 times.
Yeah.
You are amazing.
I like celebrating it. It's an excuse. And it's an excuse to get with your friends, an excuse to have some fun because we're all working so hard. Linda, I don't know anybody that isn't working so hard these days to make things go right. And it was an excuse. I had so many people connecting with me on social media that I hadn't been connected to for a while, and I thought this is a great excuse. It's just a wonderful excuse. And yes, I celebrate. And here's the main thing, and I especially tell this to the people when I go to the, I'm playing piano again these days, and I play at some senior homes and places where there are people. I ask them at the beginning, I say, I'm 81. Is there anybody here older than me? The last job I did, there was a fellow who was 100 years old. The one before that, the guy who was 90 years old. And the concept is this. It's glorious to have a birthday because not everybody gets the chance.
Yeah.
And to use the word, some other people tell me don't use the word old. Well, okay. I think that it's a privilege to get old. I think because not everybody gets to. My husband, he only got to 51, and 51 isn't very old, and he didn't get the chance to get old.
Right.
And that just made me feel weepy. I don't know why. It's been 20 years since he passed, and I live a good life. I don't live in sadness, but that just made me think he didn't get a chance.
Oh,
So
I understand.
I celebrate, and I milk it for all it's worth. But I don't do it to milk it to glorify me and get presents. And I did get 2 or 3 presents out of all my friends. I did get two really, really sweet, thoughtful presents, but it's not for that. It's for the connections. It's for the connections and celebrating friendships. So I think that's
I'm going to say it.
You didn't expect me to talk that long, did you? You expect me to say, yes, I celebrate.
No. Did you see the card I sent you?
No.
Oh my gosh. I will share it here. I will put it on the screen so that everybody gets to see. It is the cutest card.
I haven't been to the mailbox. I've been so busy. I haven't been. Did you mail it?
No, it's an e-card, but it's an appropriate e-card. So you will enjoy it. And I'll just share it. So you'll see it. If you haven't seen the e-card, you're going to see it. With everyone else, it'll be a surprise for you. But
Wow, that's so cool.
uh-huh.
Yay.
Ain't no way I'm keeping quiet, not today. 'Cause I heard it's someone's birthday, and now we got to celebrate. So Karen, you better get ready to party and dance till you feel unsteady with balloon bouquets, barbecue, and confetti. 'Cause you deserve everything. If I light too many candles, it's 'cause you live somewhere. If I sing this to a legend, it's 'cause you are one. You're a legend, Karen. One more candle still aglow, so let it blow. Let's cut that cake, and when you smell that smoke, it's just the wishes that you make. Happy birthday. So just grab another slice and take a bite, make no mistake. 'Cause I wanna smell that smoke, so I'ma light it up, and then we'll blow it out. All those candles on your cake. Woo! Happy birthday.
Wow, that's so cool.
Uh-huh.
Yay. Well, maybe somehow the email, I don't know.
I don't know either, but that's all
I'm not
right.
to see it.
Yeah, it is such a freaking cute card. And then I got you a gift. Do you want me to show you what I got you?
Yeah, show
Because
me,
I
show me.
haven't seen you since your birthday. So this is something, when I saw it, I thought, the older I get, at least, the less things I want. I just don't need more things in my life because I've held on to so much that's had significance for me that I actually prefer either something really useful or a piece of jewelry, which my husband knows that one really well, or an experience. Take me on an experience. Like your paintball thing sounds like a
Yeah.
blast to me. Anyway, but this I saw because being healthy and consuming things that add to your health and longevity is so much a part of you. I thought this is a clever little thing. So, do you see what that is?
Woo!
So, it's a little cup that has a little spinner on the inside that's magnetic, and you put all your components in there, which means you can be on the road and, especially if it's water soluble. Anyway, and you push a little button and it whirs it up using a magnet. So it's completely all sealed, and then it's got a little zipper top. Anyway, I will give it to you shortly
I'm
because
so
you're cute.
excited. I it just fits right in with my company has a couple of new things, and one of them involves a protein that is a clean, beautiful, pure protein, and it tastes amazing. It's like strawberry flavored. But to have protein that doesn't have the junk in it, doesn't have sucralose, it's just fabulous. And I can do this. I can do this, and I can make a big deal out of it.
Well, we should actually, let's plan an adventure where you have to bring some of your stuff. You can have that cup because I just got back from being on the road, and I must say we schlepped quite a few things that my husband and I use daily in our health protocol. But it's not the stuff I have at home. I don't have a blender at home. I didn't have other things. And I don't typically buy like protein bars. He has a protein bar that he eats every morning. So that would have been useful for me too. So anyway, we can do an adventure and then you can bring that. And you can,
Let's do it. Absolutely.
what are the new protein things? Protein as you get older becomes even more essential because our bodies tend to waste protein or not utilize it in the great way we used to. So having plenty of building blocks on hand so that your body can use it, especially for building muscle and stuff, I think is essential. And obviously you do too.
Well, you're
So
not
what do you
thinking
have?
that it's essential because everywhere I turn, there's somebody talking about the science that your musculature is your highest, best predictor of your longevity. It is more more of a predictor than do you smoke, do you drink, do you have diabetes, do you have a tendency for heart disease. The biggest predictor of you living long is, do you have muscle? And the biggest predictor of not living long would be sarcopenia, which is the fancy way of saying you don't have enough muscle. And of course, here I am with a brand new, I've been doing 2 of these every day, because each one has 20 grams of protein. That way, at least I know I'm getting at least 40 grams of clean protein, without a bunch of the stuff that most protein comes with. I don't want in my life, like fake sugars. I don't do fake sugar. I don't do artificial sweeteners and stuff like that. And so just to have enough protein, it is the predictor of whether you're going to be living long. So I've been watching videos, and I watch people who are older than me, and some are just seniors. They're in their 60s, and they can do these things. I cannot do an actual real push-up. Can you do a push-up?
I can, but not a whole bunch of them. But yes, I can do a push-up.
I
do.
can do a wall push-up, but I can't do it. I tried today to do a regular push-up, because I wanted to do. There's this one exercise where people go, there once was a man who went to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy O.T. And they're doing this. They're doing push-ups where they're doing it to the song, and they move their hands around. And I said, well, I want to do the Billy O.T. whatever that song is. I want to do that, and I can't.
I haven't heard of that trend. That's interesting. And no, I can't do push-ups and clap your hands and move your hands around. That is not me, not anymore. But so I can do regular push-ups, not a whole lot. I do the, not wall, but I do while I'm making my coffee in the morning. So I do it again.
Countertop push-ups.
There you go. So I do that just to keep things going.
Yeah.
But yes. So protein, and the thing about protein is sometimes it's in forms where it's hard for your body to assimilate it. And so consuming proteins where at least you know your body has easy access to it, which I'm assuming your product gives you easy access to the protein you're consuming.
Yes.
Am I assuming correctly?
I think you're assuming correctly.
Consuming and assuming. That's the way to go. Okay. Well, so I mentioned celebrating your birthday, and my husband and I just celebrated our first anniversary the day before your birthday.
Fabulous.
I think it's just a plan so we can both be off partying at the same time, right?
I think so. Tell us about, you told me, but I want you to tell everybody about your trip, because it sounded so fantastic.
My trip. So we are located in the Tampa Bay area, Florida, which seems pretty south. I'm an original California girl. In case you can't tell, I have no accent that's from the south most of the time. And when I moved to Florida, which is south of the south, it was not very south at all. It was not super cosmopolitan, but I was surprised that there wasn't a whole lot of southern leanings here, at least that I could see in Tampa Bay. So pretty much big city, lots of water. It's lovely. My husband asked what I would like to do for our anniversary, and I said, well, I've never been to Savannah, Georgia. Have you been there before? And he said, I've been there many times. Yeah, you haven't been there either, Karen. Savannah, Georgia, he went on about how beautiful it was. And my daughter and son-in-law, my son-in-law went to college there on a golf scholarship, I believe.
Oh.
And it's one of their favorite cities. So I thought, well, I would like to go too. And then my husband told me that there's a street in Savannah, it's called Jones Street, that's been voted the prettiest street in America.
Wow.
So what a bold boast that was. Anyhow, to really sum things up, we planned 4 days there. And I look at sites and I can take things in pretty quickly. And I thought, how could you spend 4 days in the same city unless it's just chock full of adventures and sites and things like that. It's not just whatever 10 square miles or 5 square miles, whatever Savannah occupies. But it was a wonderful experience, and we did things every day. And one of the things that we did that I actually enjoyed, my husband not so much. He's a New Yorker, and I've just found that New Yorkers can have short, they don't suffer things too long. If something's too long, they just want to move on, get to something else. But I downloaded an app, which was, you see the tours that everybody takes in different points of historical interest. This is an app that you just put your earbuds in, and you can do walking tours of different areas. Wow. So for Savannah, which has many, many historical points of interest, like everywhere you look kind of a thing, there was a historical walking tour, which probably was 3 or 4 hours long. I mean, it was long. And so we got about halfway through that before my husband said, "Okay, I'm done. Are you done? Are you done yet?" I said, "Yeah, I'm done." As we're standing in front of yet another monument, there are these parks, central parks, a bunch of squares, and each one just about features a statue or a grave or something in the middle of it. Anyway, but the other one was a haunted tour. That one was fun too. And it went through some of the buildings we'd already learned about from the historical perspective. So now we got to learn the ghostly thing. And again, he did about half of that. And then he was like, "Okay, let's finish this one up too." I would have done them both all the way. So that was fun. And then we drove home. I can't recommend highly enough a visit to Savannah. But I learned something else. And what I learned was the prettiest or the most beautiful city in the U.S., according to my Google research, for 9 years in a row is actually Charleston, South Carolina. Not very far from Savannah. So that's next on my list of places to visit.
God. Well, I thought that because I'm somewhat new to Florida, been coming here for about 18 years, but living here 4 years full time. I was living here part time before, but I've never been to, is it called St. Augustine?
Yeah.
Augustine? And that's the oldest city in the United States? Or is it the oldest city in Florida? It's the oldest city in Florida.
I think it is one of the oldest cities in the United States. But one other thing, you must go because it contains the Fountain of Youth. Didn't you know that?
Bad Floridian. I'm a bad naughty Floridian. Oh my gosh.
The Fountain of Youth.
And I haven't been to the Everglades. I'd like to, for some birthday, I'd like to go to the Everglades. I'd like to go there. I have a whole list of all these places I'd like to go on birthdays, but it's, I typically can't find somebody that'll take the time off to go with me. so we'll have to figure that out. But I think I want you to at least describe the dinner you had, because that was, I mean, we're not just talking about my birthday. We're talking about celebrating life. We're talking really, it's the same thought as stop and smell the roses. I mean, really, what are we working for? What are we working so hard for? What are we trying to succeed for? Because we want some pleasure in our life, and there's nothing wrong with wanting pleasure. It's an okay thing to want to have some pleasure somewhere. I had another friend who said, "I haven't done anything for fun for so long." I thought, yeah, it's missing. I haven't gone and sat with friends just to sit and have a lovely chat. It's been, we're going to go over business. I'm going to prospect them because I want to sell them the goods from my company. Or, no, I don't want to do that. I want to sit with my friends and just be with my friends. the last time that I really had that feeling was at parties of yours. You have good parties. You have the quality of knowing how to celebrate something
Uh,
in a way that shares it with people, and they do come just for fun, and they don't come for any ulterior motives or for PR to, political. There's nothing political or PR or anything, just to celebrate life, a little bit of celebration of life. So to that end, would you please at least describe, so I can enjoy it in absentia, the meal that you had and the
our
price?
amazing meal.
Yeah.
So, as a special anniversary dinner, my husband booked reservations at a restaurant called Elizabeth's on 37th Street in Savannah. And it is a restaurant that has, I don't know if they're Michelin chefs, but definitely creative. A creative chef over the kitchen, said very much in the Southern style of things. And it was a chef's tasting menu, which is something I've never experienced before. It may be familiar to everyone else, but for those uninitiated, a chef's tasting menu is smaller portions of the best the kitchen has to offer, this particular chef. So it's highlights their creative style and how they put together an entire menu, very often with wine pairings for each course, which we did not do. But 7 courses, so it was 7 courses, and by the time the dessert menu came, I couldn't eat a thing. It was way too much.
Wow.
But it was one exquisite, I'm not going to say they were tiny tastes, but they were smaller servings, and they were all just beautiful, and it was all things that were local to the area we were in also.
You described a particular taco that caught my fancy. Would you describe the taco and tell the size of it? It's not like any taco you got at Taco Bell.
Now, one of the, we would call it an appetizer, it was a lobster taco, and it was a very big Parmesan disc, maybe, probably all told was about that big. Then it was folded in half, and there was a chunk of lobster. It was huge, huge chunk of lobster. So this Parmesan shell was wrapped around a lobster with some salad and some sauce on it. I don't remember what the sauce was, but boy, was that good.
Kind of like
It,
a lobster roll meets a taco, like a lobster roll
yeah,
meets a taco.
it was so odd to see, oh, this is lobster taco. Um, and then the other, so what we did, there were 2 choices on many things, and then four choices. I think on the hors d'oeuvre plate, there were 4 choices. So instead of the lobster taco, and the thing we had, which was, I said mussels, but it was actually, was it scallops? I can't remember. No, oysters. It was oysters with a green sauce that was capers and something else, but served in like the shell that I like better than the tacos. So, but we shared everything. It
I'm
was it
enjoying,
was very, very good.
I'm totally enjoying everything that you're describing. Did you have some? Tell me you had some dessert.
I did. It was a homemade yellow, let's say a lemon pound cake with a strawberry compote spread between, and I had one taste of the cake and I ate all the strawberries. It was lovely. The
Oh,
whole thing was lovely. And then we strolled the beautiful streets of Savannah afterwards, and just was perfect.
how
Gotta
lovely.
say, so romantic too, for anyone who loves romantic things.
Oh.
Savannah's perfect for that.
So I think maybe we should plot out pleasure. I think we should plot out celebrations and pleasure. Somebody asked me, what's your idea of a perfect birthday? For me, it could just be dinner and a movie. Though that's I'm happy to go to that place for dinner, and then to go to even if I just came home and had a pay-per-view movie, but dinner and a movie, I'm a happy camper. I've got everything I need,
Mm-hmm.
in that regard. But I think everybody, we should be urging our people looking to live their platinum prime life. I think we prime pleasures. We have to figure out, because you can't necessarily do the same things that you might have done. Like in my youth, I might have gone on a safari, and
Right.
I did go on a safari, but I was working. All the travel that I've done, only one time did I ever go, and that was when Duncan and I retired, because we had reached some financial and real estate goals, and we went to
Mhm.
Hawaii for 3 weeks over Christmas,
Mm.
and that was the first time in my maybe the only time, except when I was a kid, where everything was just for fun, because everything else has always been traveling for work. So I think we have to plot platinum prime pleasures.
I do too.
We have to
And
plot
I will, let me,
platinum prime pleasures.
I'm going to share one more thing
Okay.
because this was something that came up today. And that was in looking over the photos that we took on our travels. I think it was Google Photos, maybe Google Photos said, would you like to create an album that just has Eric in it? We'll call it Eric. And I said, sure. So Google gathered every picture of Eric that I had taken since we got together. It turned out to be 500 and some odd photos. And I sent a link to Eric, and then he called me into his office and said, hey, look at this. And as we went through the photos, there were pictures of friends who are no longer with us, some significant ones, but just times we were celebrating together. And I thought to myself, gosh, Eric, you and I have done a lot. We have done a lot since we got together, which that's wonderful. But celebrating with friends, especially friends that we've known for years, people that are meaningful to us, is more important now than it was earlier in my life when I felt like I had forever. I know I'm going to live for a while, but I can't blanket that on everyone else that I know. So those moments that you can plan to celebrate or have an excuse to throw a party or something like that become more important, because sometimes what you have left over after that lovely event is memories of times with friends who are no longer with you. As sad as that is and as poignant as it is, it's still wonderful to look back and see that person having a wonderful time with you. You're sharing moments and memories. So, going to suggest that. And with that, Karen, we are near the end of our show, but I have a haunted tour of Ybor City that we could do. It's a walking tour, so you may not be in love with that thought, but
Well, I can't
learning.
walk straight, but I can walk little splurts if we can do it little splurts. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Wouldn't that be fun? And I
Yeah,
know some great restaurants around there too. It would be super fun. Ebor's fun.
yeah.
All right. Or St. Pete, which is also another great nearby destination for
Tell
us.
me what you think of this. I had tried to pull it off this year, but it didn't work out because I just couldn't. I couldn't think how to make it happen. But your friends, let's just say, like, not all my friends are in Clearwater, Florida. My friends
Mm,
are all over, because I lived in Kansas City for a long time. I lived in Las Vegas for 55 years. I lived in Hollywood for a year. Phoenix for a year. All over. And I wanted to do a virtual birthday party,
yeah.
because then what you could do, you could record that virtual birthday party, and you would have your friends on a recording for that year of your birthday, and if they said nice things to you, you'd have them saying nice things. But
Oh, okay.
how would you do that?
That's
Would you
always lovely, though.
do a
Yeah.
Zoom? Like, I sort of want to have my own memorial service, so that I can choose the music and choose the food, and I get to hear what people say, for
I think
sure.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, but
Many
how would
years off,
you do that?
but
Do
there
that
you
with?
go.
Would you do that with Zoom? Is that what I should do? Is like, okay, next
Yeah,
birthday,
totally.
we're not going anywhere. We're just going to sit at home in our, we don't even have to have our trousers on. We can just sit at home, and
Or we could go places, right? You can zoom on the go.
Oh.
We could take them all on the haunted ghost tour with us.
Oh.
We'll just put it all on a Bluetooth speaker, and it's like, okay, this building right here, this is where, like, for example, we were outside of Paula Deen. You know who Paula Deen is?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a restaurant in Savannah called The Lady and Sons, and that's her restaurant. And so I took a picture of it because I have a sister who is an amazing cook, and I have two sisters who like Paula Deen a lot. I've never done much with her butter or whatever it is she's known for. So I took a picture of her place, and then later when we were doing the ghost tour, it turns out her restaurant is haunted. And so it was doubly fun to stand outside and hear all about it. And, like, oh, wow. You can eat in a haunted restaurant with a very famous chef and her chef sons. So that was pretty fun.
That is fun. Okay, so now we're going to plan the next big celebration we have. We're going to have a party. What's the next big thing coming? 4th of July is coming up.
No, Eric and I are having a big birthday bash this year.
Oh.
So we always visit you on the 4th. But we're going to have a big
right.
party at our house because we're both born in the month of July. And so that's coming up, and we'll have music and food and singing and
Yeah, and then everybody comes over to watch the fireworks from my balcony, because the fireworks get put off right by my balcony, and they go off over your head. We sit out on the balcony and watch the fireworks.
Or on your roof, which I like that view a
roof.
lot too.
Yeah,
That's
we're
right.
not- Shh. No, we didn't go on the roof. No, we didn't go on the roof. No.
We were on the balcony, and we had good healthy food. That's right. All right, so celebrations are ahead. We've been celebrating, and we are celebrating you, Karen. And I hope you like the card that I got for you, because it's really fun.
I'm sure I'm gonna love it. Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right, and for all of you out there, definitely make sure you celebrate your life, your Platinum Prime years, and that you include those people that have been your friends for many years. If you have people who've been part of your life and you're not currently talking to them because of something silly, heal that wound, get to celebrating, because life doesn't go on forever, and life is meant to be enjoyed. So enjoy it. With that, we're going to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.